Good morning students. Today we'll start with your third unit, that is capsule. So in this unit we have to see we have to discuss about the definition, then the advantages, types, capsule cell composition. So this we'll discuss in the today's class, and then we have to discuss about hard gelatin capsules, how they are produced, and production and filling of hard gelatin capsules, quality control test for hard gelatin capsules, and then soft gelatin capsules, production and filling of soft gelatin capsules, and QC test for soft gelatin capsules. Okay, so whenever we study a dosage form, we should know what are its advantages when compared to the other dosage forms. Okay, so first coming to the definition of capsules. Capsules are the solid dosage forms in which your drug substance is enclosed within a hard or soft soluble shell, generally from gelatin. So there is nothing but capsules are a solid dosage forms in which it is a soft gelatin shell means it will have only one shell in which they are that means the shell will not have two components, it is just one component, whereas here hard gelatin shell will have two components, that is the body and the cap. So it is a solid dosage form in which your drug substance is enclosed in a, this is a soft, okay, this is a soft gelatin capsule, this is a hard gelatin capsule. So in drug substance is enclosed within a hard or soft soluble shell which is generally formed from gelatin. So coming to the advantages of capsules. So what are the advantages of capsules over other dosage forms? Elegance, that means they have very attractive appearance. Ease of use, you need not you will not get the taste, just you have to administer with water and gulp it. So ease of use, you can easily use it at any time, and even it is suitable for your adults also. Portability means you can easily carry them. You can easily carry them in your handbag to different places without any risk of getting them break. So that is portability. So they provide smooth, slippery, easily swallowed and tasteless shell for drugs. So smooth, slippery. Smooth, that means the surface of the shell, if you say it is very smooth, it is slippery and it can be easily swallowed. And the shell, it tasteless shell. So the shell does not have any taste. Okay, so this is an advantage because if any drugs are bitter, you can easily incorporate them in capsule form. Drugs having unpleasant taste or odor can be easily incorporated. Many of our antibiotics and your NSAIDs, they will have irritability taste. You will not feel to swallow them in tablet form. So drugs having unpleasant taste can be easily incorporated in your capsules. And then they are economically produced in large quantities. They can be produced in large quantities and in wide range of colors. We have seen capsules, sometimes they are white in color, sometimes they are brown in color, so they can be produced in wide range of colors. Then they provide ready availability of the contained drug, that means whatever drug is contained within the capsule shell, that is easily made available to the body. So they provide ready availability of the contained drug. Why? Because minimal excipient and little pressure are required to compact the material. So as we have seen in case of tablets, a rotary tablet press is required, and we have seen the compression tooling, all the tools which are required, the setting which you need to do. So here that all is not required, only minimal excipient and little pressure are required to compact the material. So there is a ready availability of the drug, whereas in case of tablets we have seen what are the steps, right? And whenever a tablet has to release the medicament, what are the steps? Disintegration followed by a dissolution, right? So in the case of capsules, you will have a easy availability, right? Then we'll see what are the types of capsules. As I've told you, they are hard capsules or soft capsules. So hard capsules are those which have two parts in which there is a separate body. In this you will fill whether the powders or granules or pellets, whatever you want, and then you will apply the cap. This is with a hard gelatin capsules, whereas soft gelatin capsules are those which are made, which are prepared by means of a plate process or a rotary dry process. Okay, they are prepared by a plate process or a rotary dry process. Here soft capsules are made by a rotary process or a dry process in which they are formed, filled and sealed in a single operation. In which they are formed, filled and sealed. In which they are formed, filled and sealed in a single operation. Okay, and also a soft gelatin capsules are made from a more flexible plasticized gelatin film than the hard gelatin capsule. Okay, and I've told you hard gelatin capsules are manufactured and filled in a completely different operation. They are manufactured and filled in a completely separate operation. That means these two are complete different steps. In first step, you will manufacture the different parts and then you will fill. So these two are different steps. Whereas in case of your soft gelatin capsules, they are formed, filled and sealed in a single operation. And in most of your cases, your soft gelatin capsules will contain liquids. Okay, whereas your hard gelatin capsules, they may contain either powder, granules or pellets. But in case of recent development have also shown that liquid and semi-solid matrices have also been incorporated in your hard gelatin capsules. Okay, so next coming to your capsule shell composition. So next we'll see what is your shell composition. Okay, so the shell basically consists of your gelatin, plasticizers. You know what are plasticizers? Plasticizers we have already discussed in tablet coating also. Plasticizers are those which incorporate more flexibility, right? Which impart flexibility, or you can say which impart plasticity and which reduce the brittleness. Brittleness is which can be easily breakable, right? So they will reduce your brittleness and they will impart the flexibility and plasticity. So it contains gelatin, plasticizers, water, opacifying agent also, you know, we had to make them opaque. So most of the capsules you can see they are opaque. So most of the opacifying agents, like generally is a titanium dioxide is the widely used opacifying agent. Then coloring agent, flavoring agent, preservatives and obviously your medicament. So this is your shell composition. So first we'll discuss about gelatin. What is gelatin? So gelatin, it is nothing but it is a collagen derived protein. Okay, a gelatin is a collagen derived protein. It is a heterogeneous product which is derived by irreversible hydrolytic extraction. Nothing but whatever the source is that, to that source you will extract the gelatin by hydrolytic extraction. That is irreversible, means it cannot be reversed back. So it is derived by irreversible hydrolytic extraction of treated animal collagen. Okay, so this gelatin, it is basically of two types, type A and type B. Type A gelatin is obtained from pork skin by acid processing. Type B gelatin is obtained from bones and animal skin by alkaline processing. Okay, type A gelatin is derived from acid treated precursor. That means the pork skin, it is treated with acid and from that you will derive gelatin. Type B is that which is derived from bone and animal skin by alkaline processing. Okay, and your type A gelatin exhibits isoelectric point in the region of pH 9, whereas here type B gelatin, it exhibits an isoelectric point in the region of pH 4.7. So what is isoelectric point? Isoelectric point, it is a pH at which the molecule will carry no net electrical charges. That means you can say it is neutral. Okay, so isoelectric point of type A and type B gelatin. So you can expect this question, any question out of this for 2 marks. So better to know all this. Okay, and you know gelatin's chemical physical properties make it an ideal substance for the capsulation of pharmaceutical products. Gelatins, why? Because it will form gel. So we have already seen the use of gelatin in suppositories. So while we have done the glycerogelatin suppositories in your pharmaceutics, so there also you have seen you use gelatin. So the properties, the chemical, physical and the physiological properties of gelatin make it an ideal substance for the capsulation of pharmaceutical substances. For the capsulation of your pharmaceutical substances. Okay, gelatin, it never occurs unnaturally. So that is why I have told you it is a collagen derived protein from mostly animal source. It never occurs naturally. And then I'll just tell you the process in which gelatin is extracted from the process of gelatin extraction. I'll just give you a rough diagram and then we'll discuss few parameters which are important while you choose gelatin for your manufacturing of capsule shell. Okay, so I told you type A and type B gelatin. Type A and type B gelatin. It is obtained by acid processing from pork skin. It is obtained by alkaline processing from your animal skin and bone. Okay, so for example, if you are taking pork skin, then it is nothing but just acid processing. So right, you have to, for the pork skin, you have to wash with strong concentrated HCl, that it percentage is 1 to 5% HCl for about 10 to 30 hours, and then you will do the acid removal. Okay, and then after doing the acid removal, you have to do hot water extraction, filter it. You have to do hot water extraction. After extraction, filter the extract. Okay, when you filter the extract, then you have to concentrate the extract by doing vacuum concentration. Vacuum concentration, and then you have to cool it to allow it to solidify. Cool it, dry it, and then you have to mill it to appropriate size. So this is the step in the production of gelatin from pork skin. Similarly, if you are using any animal bone or a calf skin, like you have to do alkaline processing, then you have to again do the same steps: hot water extraction, filter, vacuum concentration, cool, and mill to size. So then you will obtain the final gelatin, which can be used in your capsule shell production. But you have to see the specifications regarding gelatin, which includes your bloom strength, viscosity, and iron strength. That means whatever gelatin you are using, you should know the following specifications for that. Means what is the bloom strength of the gelatin, what is the viscosity of the gelatin, and what is the iron content in the gelatin you are using. Okay, so today we'll discuss about bloom strength. So as I've already told you, type A and type B. In the manufacturing of capsules, you can either use type A or type B, or you can use blends also. You can use mixture of both depending on the cost and depending on the availability. You can use any of these gelatin. Okay, so first we'll discuss about bloom strength. Very important question. You can also expect this for 2 marks. What is bloom strength? Okay, so first I'll tell you what do you mean by bloom strength. Bloom strength is a very important specification for gelatin. Bloom strength, it is nothing but also known as gel strength. Okay, bloom strength, or you can say gel strength. Bloom strength or the gel strength of a gelatin, it is a measure of the cohesive strength of the cross-linking. Okay, it is a measure of the cohesive, that means the molecules are intermolecularly linked. So it is a measure of the cohesive strength of the cross-linking. It is a measure of the cohesive strength of the cross-linking that occurs between the gelatin molecules. That occurs between your gelatin molecules, and it is directly proportional to the molecular weight of the gelatin. Your bloom strength is directly proportional to the molecular weight of the gelatin. Obviously, molecular weight is nothing but which is formed by your gelatin molecule. So the cross linking which occurs, so it is a measure of the cohesive strength of the cross linking that occurs between the gelatin molecule. So you will determine the bloom strength. Okay, how you will determine this? Suppose you will this is a jar. This is a jar in which you have a gelatin solution. Okay, what you will do is you will take a plastic plunger. Okay, this is a gelatin solution. So you will just note down the weight which is required to move this plunger deep into this gelatin gel. Okay, I tell you the exact definition. It is bloom is determined by measuring the weight in grams required to move a plastic plunger of 0.5 inch in diameter, 4 mm deep. That means it should move 4 mm deep into a gelatin gel. So this is this gelatin, it should have a particular concentration. The concentration is 6.2/3% gel. Okay, so you will see the weight in grams required to move a plastic plunger of 0.5 inch in diameter, 4 mm deep. That means it should move 4 mm deep into a 6.2/3% of gelatin gel that has been held at 10 degrees centigrade for 17 hours. So this gelatin gel, this particular concentration of gel has been maintained at 10 degrees centigrade for 17 hours. So when you use this gel, you will determine how much weight is required to move a plastic plunger 4 mm deep into a gelatin gel of this much concentration, which is maintained at 10 degrees centigrade for 17 hours. Right. And the general ranges, it ranges from 150 grams to 250 grams. The bloom strength varies from 150 grams to 250 grams, and higher the bloom strength of the gelatin used, the more stable is your capsule shell. Okay, so higher is your bloom strength, The higher the bloom strength, higher is the stability of your capsule shell, or you can say the physical stability of the capsule shell. It depends on the bloom strength. Higher the bloom strength, higher is the strength. And also the cost of the gelatin is directly proportional to the bloom strength, and thus it is an important factor in the cost of soft capsules. Okay, so this is with your bloom strength. The remaining parameters of viscosity and iron we'll discuss in the next class, and then we'll see what are the remaining components of your gelatin shell, and then we'll start with your hard gelatin capsules. In detail we have to discuss about hard and soft gelatin capsules. So we'll start about hard gelatin capsules, how to production and filling of hard gelatin capsules, what are the raw materials required, and then what are the QC tests for hard gelatin capsules. If you have any doubts, please ping me.